nothing about saving. And so Prince telling you party like it's 1999. So when 2000 came, black folks had partied like it was 1999. So they came into the new millennium basically broke. They didn't come into the new millennium like their ancestors did. Their ancestors came into 1900 with money, building, and building schools and building banks and building radio stations and building magazines and newspapers and whatnot, building entertainment companies that reflected the pride and the heritage and the tradition of black families. But now you had whites paying all of these young blacks to go into the next millennium as slaves, as sambos. And so knowing that if they went into the millennium with the mentality of not having anything or just having things for right now or just me, then they would be basically condemning the next 25, 26 generations to have absolutely nothing because everything is spent in the current generation. And so you had entertainers that were, instead of promoting, making that money and passing it down to their children and building entertainment companies that reflected black images and black pride and black heritage. You had them basically flaunting. You have Will Smith and Jada now that are flaunting their children as these, especially the daughter, as this, she got her hair all done up like, the baby looked like a 9-year-old lesbian. It was absolutely incredible to me. She's flaunting her own style, and white media is just feeding it, just feeding that delusion, that deception, that degradation. And, it's, I have $350 jeans on and $400 purse and, $600 sunglasses. And, this is the stuff that they're promoting. You had Shaq posting that promoted a diamond ruby, and he had this golf cart, and you're like, why? And it had this Superman on it and sapphire rubies and diamonds, and you're like, baby, do you know what you could have did in the community? How many pancakes you could have bought at the DFAC Center? How many children you could have, took to a place, a museum or something? You bought a golf cart and you had diamonds. You watched the EDC of Ludacris, who of course named himself Ludacris, but because of once you see some of the stuff that he does, you understand that name is fitting. But he comes into this video with a truck that has been wrapped in Louis Vuitton logo. And you're like, why? Really? You just saw such stupidity. You saw the cash money group just becoming more homosexual and mascara and the images of kissing each other and black males, they do their little thing and grab, do the handshake and then a little tap, but this was lip-to-lip kissing. Like, what? And then they're talking about they're buying helicopters and they all got platinum and diamonds in their mouth. Like, first of all, ew, and secondly, why? I mean, you just saw complete retardation. And the images of just recently they put out a white magazine, and on the front cover it has this black basketball player. And while on the front cover he has on a suit, and he is, other than the demonic tattoos on his arms, like I say, he looks very nice. But then when you go to the spread in the back of the magazine, he's got on these tight pants and, this gay clothing. And each picture seems to be more gay than the other pictures. And you go through, and it's like, all the black males in this book gay? This book used to show the manly man, the all-spice black man, all these different things, Michael Jordan. But now it's just promoting homosexuality, and you're seeing it, day in, day out. And now they're putting it in the schools to infect more black male children and black female children. So, entertainers have definitely done a disservice, many of them, to the black community by promoting this stuff. And so we wanted to address some of the things that have occurred. And if you know how something started and you know why it's continuing, then you automatically know how to fix it. We've got to start getting to these entertainers and telling them this is unacceptable. And no, you cannot act like this and still expect support from the black community. And we've got to start boycotting and rejecting all of the products that they endorse until they straighten up and fly right. And we have to save our children's lives, just like whites went to Congress to save those white children that were killing each other and killing themselves. It's time for black people to wake up and stop accepting this degradation in the black community. So that was part 7, Restoring Honor and Pride, back to the black entertainers and back to black entertainment. And so tomorrow, that's the end of our series. So tomorrow we're going to do the series wrap-up. And, well, actually we're going to try and get that into you today if we're able to. We have a show at 12 that should be, if everything goes well, we'll be addressing that, the wrap-up of our Restoring Honor to the black community. And we'll be starting, if you thought this series was hot and controversial, we're going to be starting our series, His Name is My Name Too. And we're going to start talking about fixing some things. But until then, we certainly thank you for joining in with us. And we, as always, say all power to the people.